Different circumstances can lead to a vacancy. The tenant gives notice. It's necessary to give the tenant notice. There's a legal eviction. Different emergencies or disasters can happen, such as fire, flood, or tornado. There can be the unexpected or unwanted trauma, crime, untimely death, suicide, etc. The reason for a vacancy can impact how long it takes to rent a property. Every investor and/or property manager wants a zero vacancy period. There are times when everything works perfectly with a qualified tenant ready to move in as the previous tenant moves out. Unfortunately, this doesn't always happen. To give you some perspective on this subject, we put together a checklist of items and projected time it can take to re-rent a property. It may be useful to you in the future when your property is vacant. Low vacancy period rents within 10 days. The property is left in reasonable condition, but some maintenance may be needed before moving in a new tenant. The demand is reasonable for the rental area in question. The asking rent is comparable to the rental area rents in question. Something may impede showing of the property during the notice period. There can be one or many applications for the rental unit, but one is a qualified applicant, accepted shortly after the former tenant moves out. Medium vacancy period, up to 21 days. The property may require repairs prior to a new tenant taking occupancy. The property may have deferred maintenance that requires a vacated unit. The supply of available rental properties is very high for the area. The asking rent may be too high for the competitive market. The property may not show well during the notice period, or the current tenant may not cooperate. There could be one or many applications for the rental unit, but many are not qualified for the property and it takes more time for a qualified applicant. High vacancy period, more than 21 days. The unit may require extensive maintenance or major improvements prior to a new tenant taking occupancy. Delays in maintenance can extend the vacancy period. There are too many properties that are similar that are available in the area. The asking rent may be too high for the area, market, and the property. A poor property condition can discourage good applicants. There may be area problems such as drugs, burglaries, bad schools, etc. There can be one or many applications for the rental unit, but it takes a long time to receive one with a qualified applicant. Extreme vacancy period, an undetermined length of time. There may be an unusual supply of rentals competing with the unit. The asking rent is unreasonably high for the current rental market. The property is in distress due to crime, untimely death, suicide, or other circumstance which discourages any application. How long will your property be vacant? If you have a pending vacancy, we would love to guarantee you a zero vacancy, or that we can tell you it won't take long to rent the property. But unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball available that will give us an easy answer. We are well aware a vacancy affects your bottom line. We also know you can reduce or even eliminate a vacancy period by following landlord-tenant laws, particularly fair housing, by asking comparable rents, and by providing well-maintained properties. Remember, having a zero vacancy is not always the answer. Instead, waiting for the right tenancy can prevent future problems and/or another unwanted tenancy.